In the wake of World War II, as Europe rose from the ashes of devastation, there emerged a film movement that would forever change the landscape of cinema. This is the untold story of Italian Neorealism, an antidote to the fascist ideology and a defining movement in the history of Italian filmmaking. It was a time of upheaval in Europe following the aftermath of World War I. Italy was a nation in a turmoil, grappling with war and a struggling economy. It was in this environment that Benito Mussolini and the fascist party made their ascent, eventually leading to the overthrow of Italian government. Once in power, Mussolini began to quickly consolidate his authority. He passed laws that restricted freedom of speech and assembly, and he cracked down on dissent. He also created a secret police force, the OVRA, to terrorize his opponents. By the mid-1920s, Mussolini had established a full-fledged fascist dictatorship. He controlled all the aspects of Italian life, from the media to the economy.
Non soltanto delle differenze, ma delle superiorità nettissime.
The Istituto Luz, which translates to Light Institute, was the Italian film corporation founded in 1924 during the fascist era. It was a newsreel and documentary film production company. This institute became a mouthpiece for glorifying the fascist regime, amplifying its ideology, and vilifying its adversaries and shaping public sentiment. In 1937, Benito Mussolini founded a massive studio that operated under the slogan, which translates as "The cinema is the strongest weapon." The purpose of the studio was to produce propaganda films for the Italian state and also to support the recovering Italian feature film industry. Propaganda films brimming with spectacle and grandeur permeated Italian screens during this era. Titles like March on Rome in 1924, documentary Mussolini's Black Shirts March, or Quota 900 in 1936, narrating the Italian conquest of Ethiopia, stand as vivid examples. Historical epics too played their part. Scipio Africanus, the defeat of Hannibal in 1937, cast the Roman general as a hero with Mussolini as his modern-day counterpart. Films were intended to promote the image of Mussolini and his fascist regime as powerful, heroic, and united. They often glorified Italy's past and presented the country as a modern-day leader in culture, technology, and military might. These propaganda films played a significant role in shaping public opinion. However, the films were not always successful in their goals, but these films did have some impact on public opinion. Meanwhile, in Germany, another leader emerged.
Führer hat das Wort.
Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party seized power with the promise to restore Germany's former glory, to break free from the shackles of Versailles and to reclaim its lost prestige.
Dann tritt für mich ein, so wie ich für dich eingetreten bin.
In 1938, Hitler began a campaign of territorial expansion in Europe, beginning with annexation of Austria. The following year, he demanded the cession of Sudetenland region of Czechoslovakia, which had a large ethnic German population. The British and French agreed to allow this in the hopes of avoiding war, but Hitler's ambition continued to grow. The turning point arrived on 1 September 1939 when Germany invaded Poland, alleging Polish aggression as their justification. 2 days later, in response to this violation of sovereignty, Britain and France declared war on Germany. This was the spark that set the world ablaze. It was a war witnessed the horror of Holocaust, dropping of atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, unleashing unprecedented destructions. The toll was staggering, with millions of soldiers and civilians falling victim to the chaos and carnage. In this war, Italy's allegiance was with Nazi Germany and joined the Axis power. But why did Italy join the World War II?
È già stata consegnata agli ambasciatori di Gran Bretagna e di Francia.
Mussolini wanted to expand Italy's border and establish Italy as a great power. Additionally, Italy's economy was struggling in the years leading to the World War II, and Mussolini believed that the war could provide a boost to the economy. Another reason was ideological. Mussolini's alignment with Nazi Germany was not merely pragmatic, it was also a born of admiration for Adolf Hitler and a belief that it would benefit Italy's position in Europe. However, this decision had far-reaching consequences. Italy's involvement in the war ultimately led to defeat and occupation by Allied forces. When the dust finally settled in 1945, World War II left an inedible mark. It redefined the global political landscape, ushering in a new era of profound change and marking a pivotal moment in our shared history. With the fall of Mussolini in 1945, Italy embarked on a journey towards democracy. In 1948, the nation adopted a new constitution, laying the foundation for democratic republic and multi-party political system. After the devastation of World War II, a group of filmmakers in Italy emerged with a shared goal to capture the reality of life in the country. They were driven by a desire to reflect the social, economic, and political conditions that Italy was facing in the aftermath of war. The Neorealist filmmakers rejected the glamorous and idealized representation of Italian life that had dominated cinema before the war. Instead, they sought to capture the raw, unvarnished truth of the life in the post-war Italy. They did this by shooting on location, using non-professional actors, using of handheld cameras, natural lighting, and incorporating the everyday struggles and the hardships of Italian people into their films. One of the key figures in the development of Neorealism was the director Roberto Rossellini, whose 1945 film Rome Open City is considered one of the most defining works. Rome Open City is a poignant and powerful depiction of Italian resistance during the World War II. Set in Rome under Nazi occupation, the films follow up a group of ordinary citizens as they struggle to survive and resist the oppressive German regime. Neorealist films use symbolic imagery and metaphorical storytelling to convey deeper and emotional themes, often featuring scenes of bombed-out buildings and ruins of remnants of World War II destructions. The most iconic example of Neorealist style is De Sica Bicycle Thieves. The films tell a story of a man who, after finally securing a job, has a bicycle stolen, leaving him unable to work. The desperate search for his bicycle can be seen as a metaphor for the struggle for Italian working class to survive in post-war Italy. The lead actor was a factory worker, and his son, played by Injo Stavola, was cast after De Sica observed him watching the shoot. Other notable films show their honest and unflinching portrayals of societal issues, complexities of war, economic disparity, and the struggle for self-determination, a powerful message. Neorealism filmmakers were not afraid to tackle difficult subjects such as poverty, inequality, and injustice. Their boldness in addressing sensitive topics, criticizing power structures, and representing the marginalized made them influential figures in the history of cinema. Neorealism film movement influenced subsequent cinema movements, including the French New Wave and Iranian New Wave. It also influenced Indian filmmakers, leading to the parallel cinema movement. As Italy progressed and recovered from the devastation of World War II, the social and cultural landscape began to change. The economic situation improved, and the people sought to form the lighter form of entertainment that provide escapism from the hardship that they had experienced. In the 1950s and 60s, the nature of cinema itself was changing. Technological advance introduced color and widescreen formats, ushering in a new era. The rise of television, with its glamorous and exciting programs, further transformed its cinematic terrain, challenging the serious and downbeat Neorealist films. Despite its declines, Neorealism had a long-lasting impact on world cinema. Its influence can be still seen in films today, and its films are still studied and admired by filmmakers and film scholars around the world. The legacy of Neorealism lives on the heart of storytellers, reminding us of the profound impact of cinema can have, transcending borders and languages.